Well, hello, I am here in beautiful Savannah, Georgia with... There is something so quintessentially Southern about these particular streets. And all along the trees, you have the famous Spanish moss. There are a bunch of different trolleys driving up and down the streets, but everything on that side of town seemed to be cobblestone. Hello and welcome to another episode of MANTAR. I am your host, Matt Antar. Thank you all very much for coming back. If it's your first time, welcome to the channel. I'm so happy to have you. And it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for another travel video. I really like making these videos, and I'm going to put a little bit more emphasis on this on the channel going forward because travel is really one of my favorite things to do, and I feel like it enriches people. It's exciting, it's always new, and I'm always in a better mood when I'm traveling. So I want to bring that joy to you guys. I want to share more of my experiences with you, so look out for more travel content coming very soon. Before we jump into today's video, just your quick friendly reminder, hit that subscribe button if you like this content. It's a big help to me. It does not cost you anything, just a click of the mouse. Also remember to like this video, share it with your friends, leave a comment for me down below. That's all helpful for the algorithm. I'd love to hear if any of you have been to the location that I was at, and if you want to see more of my content, remember to hit that little notification bell so you do not miss videos when they come out. So with all that out of the way, today we are taking a trip down to the beautiful historic city of Savannah, Georgia. Fun fact, I have never been to the state of Georgia in my entire life. This was my first time in that state, and certainly in the city of Savannah, and it is as gorgeous as they tell you it is. And I am so excited to share it with all of you. So without further ado, sit back, relax, enjoy the 5 hours that I spent in Savannah that I am excited to share with all of you. And we're gonna start that right now. So I had been spending the Thanksgiving holidays in South Carolina. That's where I have family. And Savannah, Georgia is just a quick drive away. In fact, Savannah is right over the border from South Carolina on the Atlantic coast. So we got in the car and we made our way down. Now, first of all, this was the Thanksgiving weekend. I first want to mention, look at all the green. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not a winter person. I do not like the winter. I do not like cold weather. So from pretty much November through April, any chance to go south as far as I can is a chance I'm going to take up. Down south, they have a lot of southern live oaks, which do not change color in the fall. They actually stay green throughout the year, but I certainly am not seeing this much green when I come back to New York after my trips down south, so that's always something really nice. And fairly quickly, we were crossing over the Talmadge Memorial Bridge, which connects the state of South Carolina to the state of Georgia, and specifically the city of Savannah. As soon as we were over the bridge, we were in Savannah. And driving through these beautiful tree-lined streets that have the absolute picturesque southern charm that I've always seen depicted in movies and magazines. There is something so quintessentially Southern about these particular streets. And all along the trees, you have the famous Spanish moss, which is hanging down from the trees, which, fun fact, is neither moss nor Spanish. It is actually, per Wikipedia, an epiphytic, I hope I said that right, flowering plant that often grows upon large trees in tropical and subtropical climates. So we arrived and parked the car and found ourselves in the beautiful historic district of Savannah, Georgia. Well, hello, I am here in beautiful Savannah, Georgia with my parents. We are in Forsyth Park right now, going to take a look, and it looks gorgeous from what I've seen. Are you guys?
His dad.
Yes, he's my dad. And she's my mom.
I'm calmer.
Yes.
His dad.
Yeah. Are you guys excited to see Savannah? Have we ever been to Savannah before?
I was when I was
Georgia.
8.
Okay.
So, but I don't remember a damn thing.
You said when you were 8 you were
Yeah.
in Savannah?
I was here, but it was in another life, so I can't.
My dad, the jokester. So we're going to check it out. I've never been here before, and come join us for the day. So we began our day at Forsyth Park, as you saw in that video, which I guess is like Savannah's Central Park. It's certainly the famous park down there. It is a 30-acre park which has a gorgeous fountain in the center. It has ample space to walk. It has playgrounds for the children and could honestly be a cute date spot to just take a stroll and look at all the greenery around you. The park was named after Georgia's 33rd governor, John Forsyth, and it was a great outdoor stroll to start off our day. And just a few blocks down the road, we went and we checked out Colonial Park Cemetery, which according to Savannah's website is the oldest municipal cemetery in the city. Its graves are from the 18th and 19th centuries, as the cemetery has been closed for new grave sites since 1853. And it was pretty cool just to walk around and see all the history there. It seemed that there were a lot of people that were important to the city of Savannah back in those days that are buried in this cemetery. Take a look at some of these videos I got while walking around. Now, we did not stay in Savannah past dinner time, but I hear that Savannah is also a great city for ghost tours, which I find really interesting. And the next time I go, I would kind of love to do a ghost tour. There and New Orleans has ghost tours as well, and I've never been to New Orleans, so maybe I'll make a video about that as well. But I was speaking with somebody local to Savannah, and they said that the ghost tours range from not scary to terrifying, depending on your level of tolerance. So if you're into ghost tours, let me know in the comments. Have you ever been to one in Savannah? Are they scary? Let me know in the comments actually if you've been to Savannah at all and what I may have missed, because I was only there for 5 hours. It was really just a day trip and it was a couple of hours driving either way, so there may be a lot of stuff that I missed. So if you've been to Savannah and there's stuff that I missed out on, let me know, because maybe one day when I go again I'll get to all the other stuff. And speaking of having a limited time there and wanting to see as much as possible, we opted to take an Old Town trolley tour. Now Savannah is hopping with trolley tours. There are a bunch of different trolleys driving up and down the streets, which kind of adds to the old charm of the city. It's obviously not trolleys on tracks anymore. There's barely any of that left in the US, so the trolleys are, motorized with wheels. But there is something about walking up and down the streets and seeing the trolleys coming in and out. So after a short bit of confusion where we didn't know quite where to pick up the trolley and I had to call their number, we finally made it onto one and took a trip around the city. The trolley even had a cute little bell that rang every time it was coming into a stop. It was really just the entire aesthetic that lent itself to just old Southern charm, really down to the minute details. So one fun fact on this trolley tour, and by the way, the trolley driver was great and she was super informative and fun, and sometimes you don't know what you're getting into with tours, but she was pretty good. So one of my favorite facts that she told us was that any property that has a red door on it is supposedly a property that has been paid off, which I find so interesting. You can actually mark the properties that have been paid off, and if you don't have a red door, maybe you're carrying a mortgage. She said they used to give out the red doors for free, but now you have to pay for them, so that's funny. But we did pass a house with a red door, and she did remember to point that out. Now, another thing I found interesting during this tour was just how many town squares they have in Savannah. And I guess they're kind of like mini parks or something, but I wonder if they were like at one point used as like town squares where people would gather and make decisions. I don't know. Somebody let me know in the comments. But we passed by so many squares. It was kind of like a thing down there. We passed by Lafayette Square, Johnson Square, Reynolds Square, Oglethorpe Square. Oglethorpe after James Oglethorpe, who is the founder of the colony of Georgia, one of the British when the colonies were still British. But those 4 squares I listed out to you are like not even half. Like I'm looking at this website now. There's Taylor Square, Chatham Square, Chippewa Square, Columbia Square, Ellis, Franklin, Greene, Liberty, Madison. It's just so many town squares. So I just think that that's really interesting. Again, I don't know if these were places people would like gather and townspeople would make decisions. I don't really know. Somebody let me know in the comments. They're all very beautiful though. So we got off the trolley at the Savannah Riverfront. It is literally called the Savannah River. It's what we drove over on that bridge coming in from South Carolina. It does separate South Carolina and Georgia. And the Riverfront, like a lot of destination towns, had a lot of fun little stores and shopping. I made a video about Montreal a couple of months ago. You can click on the link right up there where my finger is pointing. And during that trip, we were in Montreal and Quebec City, and both waterfronts in both cities were the same kind of thing. Lots of like touristy stuff, lots of shopping, lots of cool stores to go into. So we got off the trolley at the riverfront and onto these cobblestone streets that had little rails going through that I don't believe are active at this point, because you see the cars are driving all along them. But everything on that side of town seemed to be cobblestone. And it was like I said before, it just continued to add to the very pretty aesthetic of the city. The first place we had to go into was Bird Cookie Company, because me and my family, we cannot resist cookies, and this was a 99-year-old cookie shop, and I will attest the cookies are very good. We also went into a store called The Peanut Shop, which I was like super excited. So I love peanut butter. That's like one thing that's like the little kid in me is still there. Like I absolutely love peanut butter. I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So I was super excited to go in there and get like a jar of, you know, their homemade peanut butter or something like that. It wasn't quite that. It was more like a souvenir shop, but then like on the sides they had some, not even just peanuts, it was like nut products on the side. There were peanuts, there was like other like mixed nuts. There was like a lot of flavors and whatever, and it was their brand, so that was cool. And then on the other side, what was so funny was they had like all these jams, and they had sauces, and they had spices and things like that. They didn't have a single jar of peanut butter in that entire shop. I was so disappointed. I was so ready to buy peanut butter, and I was just, you know, kind of a major letdown. And then in the middle was like sweaters and t-shirts and souvenir things. Oh my god. Also, I wish I got a picture of this, but I didn't. I bought a Savannah, Georgia t-shirt, which is like, you might be asking, well, if you bought a Savannah, Georgia t-shirt, why aren't you wearing it to make the video? Well, they were folded up and like, but like there were like display shirts, but then the like shirts themselves were like folded up into these little plastics. And I guess I didn't look carefully enough at the display shirts, because it was absolutely a woman's shirt that I ended up buying. So it was like this like tight, like hourglass looking thing on me with like the neck cut was like down here and like circular. I just looked ridiculous in it. And there were some other shops that I didn't get videos of. There was an awesome Christmas store that just had like everything you could possibly want for Christmas. Little angels for the tree, Santa Claus dolls, or I don't know if you call them dolls, but like figurines, ornaments, tinsel, things that I'm bad with knowing a lot of the terms for what you use for Christmas, but it was a really cool like Christmas dedicated store. It was so cool. And there was a nice little art gallery there that we spent some time in as well. And then before you know it, our 5-hour trip was coming to a close, so we had to make our way from the riverfront up the cobblestone streets, 1 block over from the river, to Bay Street to eat dinner at a place I got a reservation at called B. Matthews. And of course I had to eat there because the restaurant is my namesake. The restaurant had very good food. These were the menu items that I tried. I tried the fried green tomatoes, which seems to be a southern staple. I've had it a couple of times in South Carolina and now Georgia. They were very, very good. Before my first ever trip to South Carolina, I had never ever heard of a green tomato being eaten. But this seems to be a staple. It is really good. And we also had B. Matt's famous biscuits, which came with a house-made almond honey butter, very, very good, and a blackberry compote. So 2 for 2 with the appetizers. And then for my main course, I had a garlic rosemary short rib. That usually comes with bacon, smoked collard greens, and sweet potato hash, but it was just Thanksgiving and I had a lot of sweet potatoes, so I substituted out the crispy smashed potatoes, which were very, very good. It was a really nice dinner. We did forego dessert because we had a bunch of cookies we had just bought from Bird's Cookie Company, but the restaurant is very, very good. Highly recommend, and I will leave the link to B. Matthews down in the description box below. And after all was said and done, time for the review.
So how did we like Savannah?
We
We
love
it. We like it.
we love Savannah, and we got the special
Beautiful.
cookies, and we got to see a lot.
Weeping trees.
Weeping trees and cookies. There was a cool candy store. Beautiful riverfront.
A lot of squares, a lot of
Yeah.
history,
A lot of
Artwork.
town squares.
Beautiful artwork.
beautiful artwork, and the best part is that we're with him.
Aww. See? How nice for the video.
Not for me.
Okay. I'm shutting this off now.
And that's it, guys. That was the trip. We had to drive back after that and make our way back to South Carolina. So that's it. It was a short video because I only spent 5 hours there, but let me know in the comments, like I said, have you been to Savannah? What did I miss? What should I go see next time? Do you agree that it's absolutely beautiful? I feel like even just the footage I got of the trees and the town squares, you can see how beautiful the town is. It is well worth a visit. One of my favorite parts was that it was the Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend, so I believe that was November 26th, I believe. As you can see, I'm in a light jacket. It was about 60 degrees out. My friends back home in New York were telling me it was about 38 degrees in New York. I do not like the cold weather, so hearing that it was 38 degrees in New York and knowing that I was enjoying a 60-degree day down in Savannah just was the cherry on top of a very lovely day. But anyway, that's it, guys. I will see you in the next one. I do have some wheels turning about future travels. I'm definitely going to do something in the winter time and I'll make a video about that. I have other political and cultural commentaries coming up as well. So lots more stuff on the way for MANTAR. I'm very excited for it. Please, once again, remember, hit that subscribe button, hit the like, hit the share, hit the comment button. Let me know your thoughts on Savannah. It's all very helpful. Thank you all very much in advance. And that's going to do it for MANTAR today. And for everyone out there in YouTube land, I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, evening, night, morning, whatever time of day you're watching this. I love you all very, very much, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.